This is SOUQ Business Landscape.
Now, a major milestone has been recorded in Ondo State's industrialization drive as Backbone Infrastructure Limited (BINL) secured funding commitments exceeding 50 billion naira for $50 billion, I beg your pardon, for the development of a 500,000 barrels per day refinery and the Sunshine Free Trade Zone in Ilaje local government area. Now, the funding was facilitated through a joint venture agreement between BINL and Canada's Nefex Holdings Limited, representing one of the largest single private sector investment packages in Nigeria's downstream oil and gas sector. The development is expected to significantly boost local economic activity, create jobs, and energy capacity in the region. Now, according to a statement released by BINL on Monday, the investment follows the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) with Ondo State Government through Ondo State Investment Promotion Agency in July. The project underscores the state's commitment to industrial growth. Swift, let me ask you, how transformative could this $50 billion, I mean, if you do the calculation in naira, it's running into trillions, $50 billion refinery in Ondo State. How transformative would that be to that state, to Nigeria, to Africa?
So, first of all, Ondo shares border with Edo State, which I'm very emotional towards. Getting oil pipes to run from the Niger Delta to Ondo is as easy as walking to CMS from here for me now. So it will be easy peasy. In fact, Dangote is probably going to shake a bit from this.
You see competition?
Yes, it's not just a competition, it is an open competition. Now, according to people, there's a part of Ondo State, the oil side of Ondo, and Ondo also has crude oil. Ondo has crude oil, Ondo has oil wells. And these areas of Ondo, they claim they are Niger Delta. It is just division of state that took them away. In fact, if some people literally speak a mixture of Yoruba and Edo, they are the Edo Yoruba parts. Now, putting a refinery there is feeding the South-South. With Amotekun strength, we know that to a large extent, after the unfortunate incident that happened in Ondo where people were attacked in a Catholic church and all that, and of course with the other Mimiko and the other cohorts gone, Ondo State has been very intentional about security. And if the security in the Southwest continues, because right now the Southwest is almost more secure than the South-South, of course, and the Southeast and the South-North. If that happens, that means it's not just it is a central place. We also know Ifo is not far from Ore when you are traveling from Lagos. So when you are going through the east, you are going to the east, you are going to the west. Ondo is a mini link. From Ondo, you can get to the north, which is closer. Which, when they start to give out petroleum products, Dangote is going to probably get a shaking from that, because from Ondo, that is where you are. From Ondo, you link to Kogi. From Kogi, Abuja, you are just in the north, which is a good one. So they are very central. It's a very central location. It's also a safe location. Now, those areas are not very open areas because most of the people, they are predominantly farmers. They are doing cocoa. We saw a video of some of the farmers crying that they are destroying the cocoa farm and all that, because over there, some people don't own farms. They are government farms. You just go to any land that are allocated and all that. But let's leave that behind. This investment in Ondo State will take Ondo from that small state that was almost insignificant till they discovered that they had oil wells after the division of states from Edo and all that, to become one of the biggest states to look out for. From what I'm saying, Ondo will become the next manufacturing hub that will probably be bigger than oil. So the investment, it's a beautiful idea. It is highly welcome because of the safety of the Southwest. And the good thing is the Southwest states seem to be very good at protecting their manufacturing companies. Once something is set up in the Southwest that is a pride to them, they embrace it. And so we'll be seeing a replicated effort in other states as time goes on. In fact, I see Southwest governors coming together to build another refinery as time goes on. So it's a plus.
Over to you, Benga Ayonuga. What's your thought on these 500,000 barrels per day, $50 billion refinery in Ondo State? How will it transform Ondo State? Also, just like Swift said, Ondo has gone through some sort of tribulations. How would the security of that particular state, that investment, how would it be secured? Because it's not just Nigeria. We have Canada's hands into it too.
All right. So on the projects in Ondo State, I think it's a good one, even though everybody is waking up pretty late. When Dangote started in 2009, everybody were skeptical that it would not work. How will it work? And Dangote took the advantage of their reluctance to get the first mover advantage, and with it, a lot of tax credit, a lot of tax rebates that helped him to finish his construction. And if you calculate with all the setbacks from 2009 to 2023, when his refineries became operational, you are talking about almost how many years? That that's almost 13 years to get it done. Now, I don't see a new refinery that, they have just signed a memorandum of understanding. I don't see it becoming fully operational until the next, if they are very fast, very, very fast, maybe 7, 8 years. So, um, while we are happy that they have started making effort on it, but becoming operational, you are looking at 7, 8 years from now. And the reason why I'm happy that it's happening in Ondo is one, Ayedatiwa is in his first term in office as governor officially. So if he gets a second term ticket, he will be able to, see through this project. Because one of the challenges that we have with this kind of project is change in government. The Dangote refinery that was in Lagos supposed to be in Ogun State, but when the then governor of Ogun State that had, signed and made all the agreements and arrangements with Dangote, who is now the senator representing Ogun East, Otunba Gbenga Daniel, when he left office, we saw the next governor come in, made a mess of it, and because he made a mess of it, Lagos quickly took over, and now Lagos is benefiting what Ogun State ought to have been benefiting right now if Dangote refinery had been sited in the Ondo Free Trade Zone that was established specially for it that time. So I am happy that this is happening in Ondo, where the governor still, if he can win a second term, has about 7 years or so to go. So he can really push if the project is really dear to his heart. He can really push to ensure that the project gets completed and give all the necessary support that the international investors need to get it done. And if they are able to get it done, of course, there will now be proper competition. Dangote spent 20 billion to do his own refinery. So if you make adjustments for inflation, the $20 billion he spent then should be around $25 billion right now, or $26 billion right now. So now they are spending times two, which means they can easily go straight and do maybe a 1.4 million barrel or a 1.2 million barrel per day refinery, in that area. And that will help generate nothing less than 40,000 direct jobs, about 120,000 indirect jobs, which will really suck up the unemployment in the area. But I hope that they will not throw the part of Dangote and also bring Indians, Canadians, and all the rest, that they will employ local people. And when they employ local people, they will pay them in international standard, not that you will pay local people, local standard, and then you pay your foreign employee by international standard, and then those ones would repatriate all the money back to their country. Now, talking about $50 billion, it is not cash. Don't get it twisted. When they say, "Oh, this agreement has been made," I don't know how much counterpart fund that Ondo State government have to bring out of the $50 billion, and then the BINL. I don't know how much they are bringing out of the $50 billion. But most of these $50 billion are in equipment, in land purchase, in paying expatriates and expertise operation to get the whole thing done. So it is not like cash directly flowing into our economy because many of the equipment are going to be imported. We don't have local manufacturing for many of the equipment that will be needed. But then, like Swift has said, it is a good thing, although it's close to the ocean, it's close to the big rivers, which, if properly dredged, then the draft for big ships to allow they can make a, what do we call it, a port for big ships to berth there instead of berthing in Lagos, so that their equipment can be, brought in directly to site without having to pass through any of the roads. But they will berth somewhere in Ondo State where a port, I think they are currently working on a port anyway in Ondo State. And this is all good for that area because I went with the senator representing my senatorial district in Ogun East to inspect the naval base that is being constructed in Ibiade Odiomi waterside area of Ogun State. And you know what that does, even though they are currently in the phase one of that project, I'm sure that by 7 to 8 years that I predicted that the refinery will start operational, if the government is really serious to see the naval base through to its completion, then they would have started operation in that naval base by that time, which will add another layer of security to the angle. So we talk about Amotekun earlier on. Now, if we now have the naval base operational in Odiomi, which is not far from Ondo State, it's a border town between Ogun State and Ondo State. It adds an extra layer of security to that refinery and it will help them get things started. And of course, the employment generation is also going to expand to our area. And don't forget, Ogun State had Gateway Institute of Petrochemical, I think it's called GIPG, where the Petrol and Gas Institute, just like the one in Efun, it was established during the tenure of the now Senator Mbagwin Gadani. Unfortunately, the Ogun State government of today and of yesterday did not do anything to improve the quality and standard of that school because that school was initially established when we thought Dangote Refinery was coming to Ogun State so that we can train local manpower so that they will be ready for employment in that refinery. But now that, a refinery is coming to Ogun State government smart, they will revive that school, pump funds into that school, and then, train a lot of both Ogun and Ondo indigenes, in that school so that they will be manpower ready when the manpower requirement, the local manpower requirement of the refinery starts to boom. And of course, also in that Olokola Free Trade Zone in Ogun State border, there is also a refinery coming there very soon. Talks are on the way. So this competition is going to be what will eventually drive down the market. But let's hope that Dangote will not use all the gimmicks in the book to stifle the competitions from seeing the light of the day because the only person who has competed favorably with Dangote and has won is Bua. And for me, as a local watcher, I feel maybe because Bua is also a northerner from the same Kano state, but we have seen people from other side of the country try to compete with him in the cement industry and they've been knocked out of the way. So let's hope that the government at the federal level will not be so focused on Dangote that they will not protect all these competition coming into to be able to see the light of the day. Because it is when they see the light of the day that the federal government will benefit, that the states wherein those things are established will benefit, that the people, the masses, Nigerians from the north to the south to the east to the west will benefit because the truck drivers that will work in that new refinery will not only be people from Ondo State, they will not only be people from Southwest, they will be people from the east, from the south, from the north, and every part of the country. So the government at the federal level needs to protect this refinery and make it see the light of the day. In the past, the government has, not this present administration, the past government has shown their bias in helping one man to succeed while making it hard for others to succeed in the same terrain. Let's hope that that will change now, and then we can have this competition and enough production for local consumption and for exports.
All right, Benga, thank you. So it was actually one of the I'm surprised that Benga went this route to say that he doesn't think. I was expecting Benga to say that he feels that this particular project is going to be backed by the federal government, because for some reasons best known, a lot of Nigerians or some other tribes in Nigeria have been clamoring that this particular government seems to favor people from the southwest zone, talking about political appointments, talking about endorsements for businesses, manufacturing, that they seem to sign off faster for people that are from the southwest zone. And so if this trend continues, because we had once had a president from the southwest zone, which the southwest people claimed it was not from here, it was Igbo, because he seemed to stifle anything that was coming from the southwest. We saw the development of Lagos, how former President Obasanjo sat on one or two things, maybe because they were from opposition parties. Now, people are very sentimental about this project, that President Tinubu seems to be extending his hands to anything from the southwest. So automatically, he's going to see this project as Tiwani. And it will be, that's why they are one of the first refinery, independent refineries to actually take forth and start something, because there is belief that the president is going to back them up 100%. And if the president secures his second tenure, which looks almost 70% possible, it would also be a good one for this refinery if the presidency is backing something from the southwest. So the refinery looks like, from all points from this chess game, it looks like something that is not just going to succeed, something that is going to be extraordinary and is going to actually stand up against, it's going to be a strong competition for Dangote. Now, usually standard refineries, if the monies are right and everything, can do between 3 to 5 years. And from the information from the governor and other people, they are saying as fast as possible, as quick as possible. They have done their research, they have done this, they have done that things are already on the works. So we are hoping, if we are looking at 3 years, if this refinery can kick in 3 years, it means that Dangote...
Denga said 7, 8.
No. 7, 8 if you are facing... So, for example, Dangote refinery, there was a time it was asked to stop. There was a federal government law that, stopped him. Then he had to start again. Of course, those small issues. But imagine if these people, first of all, they already have, from project management, a Dangote refinery to learn from the mistakes they made, what delayed them. If they have all this going for them, they can actually put in an effort from 3 to... And like I said, if the federal government, if they are having the full federal government backing, they are having the full government backing of all Western governors, that people are coming together, they are having the full backing of a particular tribe, which is what we have been saying. Every tribe put together your refinery. Let's know that this is the one for the West. Let the Easterners put something together. Let the people in Ebonyi, let's see how fast, because you see, when you are doing regional things, that's what the Awolowo succeeded in. They realized that regional projects always grow faster than federal government, because federal government projects, there's national division. When an Hausa man is putting too much effort, his brothers call him and say, why are you putting too much effort in the West? But by the time you are from Oshun, you are from Oshogo, we all have the same rapper, we came from the same Oduduwa clan, according to information. You will see that this project will move faster. So if it's having federal government backing, it's having the people's backing, it's having international collaborations, and there's undertone of there are 1 or 2 underground, political players who have not read their heads up, but they're already putting money and they are very interested. I think that in 3 years, this project can actually move, I think.
In 3 years. All right. Let's quickly move on to the next story.
I think they said Benga has something.
All right, Benga. I think Benga. Yes, Benga always have something to say. Let's hear from Benga.
I'm saying no matter how fast they try to be, it can't be less than 7 to 8 years. Don't forget that there are lots of engineering works that are going to be done. And every year has different times and seasons. So you are able to work faster during the dry season, but it is not the same, especially based on the soil texture and all the rest during raining season. You might even have everything working for you, but the vehicles that will supply your products that you want to use to work, maybe that will supply your iron, that will supply your steel, that will supply this and that. The road might make it challenging for them. I remember, by the side, I'm a salesman. I sell lubricants, and I know that my lubricant, my HD lubricants for diesel engines, they don't sell so much during raining season because most of the truck that I sell to are people. I've forgotten the English to use. Agbegedu, those who carry logs from the farm to the city, and so the roads are impassable for them during rainy season, and therefore they don't go to the farm that much during rainy season. So if you factor all of these things in, let's even forget about politics. Let's say, like Swift has said, everything politics is dotted and crossed properly, and then the money is there. But even with that, the amount of piling they will do for substructure strengthening on the land where the refinery will even stand. That one alone can even take a whole year to just do piling,
Benga,
of
you
the
are right.
substructure.
Statistics
And
shows
then,
that
during dry
Benga,
season,
Benga,
just
Benga,
all those things.
Benga, Benga. Statistics shows that in international nations, refineries have been built between 3 to 5 years.
Except
Like I said, if the planning is right, there's something called project management. There are people like in China that somebody works in the morning, another set takes up in the afternoon, another set takes up in the evening. If you're a project manager and you know that there's raining season, you can get a storeroom where you set up your piling that you will be used, that will have issues during rainy season. So I'm just saying, if everything is planned properly, we are looking at businessmen who want to invest millions, who also know that right now people are going into natural gas, they are going into a lot of things. So people are saying that there's a timeline for oil. So if you're investing this money, it means that in the next 7 years, that's the timeline people are giving OPEC countries. Somebody may actually think about it 3 years. Is it possible? It's possible, Benga.
All right, Benga, let's have your final.
I'm not saying it is not possible. I'm not saying it is not possible to be done in 5 years, but I am saying face reality. You can put China for all you like. You can put India for all you like. India has done roads that are taking Nigeria to do in 24 years within 24 hours. You can go and check the record. The fastest road constructed, it was done within 24 hours. But do we have that same? Forget that we have had international company come to establish. Recently, I don't want to mention company name, but there is a company who is establishing local production for lubricants in Nigeria, somewhere in Bayelsa State. I had worked with them before, but the refinery ought to have finished since 2 years ago, but it has not been completed now. The project manager, the Indian company that is constructing the refinery for them, the last time I met them at OTL and we were gisting, I know what I had. And you see, when you are planning and you are talking, let us face local reality. One of the other things is we are talking about manpower. I spoke about that school in Oni, Waterside. Apart from Petroleum Institute in Efun, Delta State, I don't know the population of students they have in PIT, Efun, Delta State. Apart from that station, that other school in Oni that Ondo State Government abandoned, second school in Nigeria that caters to manpower development in that area. So if they bring in total foreigner, I will be one of those who will come to TV and start shouting that, oh, you see this investment, of what benefit is it to Nigerians when it's foreigners that are working there? And if they want local people to be able to function there, do we have enough manpower, well-trained manpower that will fit the role and help them construct it? And that is why if you factor all of these things together, I still insist you won't spend less than